Hello, and welcome to the We101 podcast. We're 18
Okay,
minutes
audio
late,
work.
but
Yes, audio
that's
test, audio test.
audio is working. I checked. We are a little
Volume
late,
levels good.
and I'm
Audio
sorry
levels
about
good.
that. Yeah, and I'm sorry about that, but everything should be good now. Everything should be really good now. I hope. If something is not good, then take it up with Sid because that's his fault.
Yes, at me.
At
At
me,
King Bruda.
you son of a bitch. Okay. Okay, but yeah,
Bro,
guys,
it's
there
been
was
10 whole episodes. Can
sorry
you believe it?
before that 1 second. So just a quick explanation. OBS put out a huge update, and that killed our
Nobody
entire
gives a
setup.
shit.
And also, I broke my tripod, so I took a while.
So there's no one watching, dude. Like literally,
There's one
no one
viewer.
watching.
That's
Yeah,
probably
but
you.
yeah, it's dead, so no one's watching.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
don't know if you get one view if you're like checking it from the account. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's
Anyway, yes, it has been 10
10
whole
whole
episodes.
episodes since we started.
Exactly.
How
You know
does it
what?
feel?
This is actually perfect because I'm looking at my monitor here, and that's where your face is, and it looks like I'm looking exactly at you and talking. Let me just
Yeah,
like
10 whole episodes.
10 whole episodes. How do we do it?
What a journey, right?
What a journey indeed. It is. We have come a long way in these 10 episodes.
Yes, indeed.
Actually,
And
we
I don't know how long
the
we'll go.
the 50 episodes before that was also a long journey, but
And
wait,
the
we had
50
more than
before
50
that.
episodes. We were
Way
at
more,
like
dude. We have like
yeah.
120 something. Yeah.
We were at like okay, we had 25 for Adda, I think, and we had like okay, we just had a lot. We had a fucking
The
lot.
whole channel has around 120 something. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of
V101 has like
useless
75
content.
episodes.
Yeah. A lot of useless content that no one is fucking watching. But
What's
that's
wrong
okay.
with you? We have views. We have views. We got a decent number of views.
Okay, I guess you can call them views. We are still invisible, but yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, we're still invisible, but we have views.
There are people who have like 10,000 subscribers who are still invisible, so you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways,
Anyways, we can get started on
invisible.
our topic. what a freaking beautiful segue. I love it.
Right? So, bro, what is our topic for today?
Our topic for the day is spirituality.
Spirituality. What is spirituality? What does
Spirituality
it mean?
is
Do we
when
believe in it?
yes,
Is it meaningful? Is it bullshit? Who
yes,
gives a shit?
yes,
Do we give a shit?
yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. Okay, you know what? Okay, what do you think? Okay, but do you want to start with like the official definition, like we usually do?
Sure. What is the official definition?
The official definition of spirituality is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul, as opposed to material or physical things.
Interesting. How much do you agree with that definition?
I feel like the definition of spirituality has changed a lot because spirituality has originally always meant has always been in relation to religion.
It has, yeah, originally, yeah, exactly.
And it's like it has been, I think, especially with the popularization of Buddhism in the world in general, people realize that hey, you know what? Maybe we don't need to be spiritual only if we believe in a god. We can be spiritual if we believe in different ideas in our lives in general. And I think that's something that changed the way we look at things.
Yeah, those are the main two like meanings that we see, right? One is like either like reforming yourself, like, you know, into being like better or whatever, and one is being more like this particular god or like this figure, right, which is a more religious.
Yeah,
but it's all, but both involve like some kind of reformation or change or something, right? Both meanings of it.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be change, but it like yeah, mostly it does talk about change. It's just that a lot of people I know are spiritual in the sense that they believe in something and that's it. That's why they're spiritual. They're spiritual because they believe, and not spiritual because they are aiming to improve themselves every day.
Well, yeah, but the things they believe in aim to improve themselves at the end, even though they may not say so.
Come on, like people
like,
people who believe in that stuff usually don't live up to it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they don't live up to it. But talking about like spirituality, for example, like religious spirituality,
yeah,
at the end it's for like this, the like this concept of like universalism, as they say, right? Which
Yeah.
is like getting salvation or whatever, like
Yeah.
like the Christian version of it, right?
Yeah.
Or any version, even like the Hindu version of it. So for them, they believe it's like doing better in some way.
I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not doing better.
Mhm.
It's just that
Mhm.
it's not necessary that it has to be with improvement. But I mean, it's usually like spirituality. I get what you're saying, because spirituality has also been called like the making the image of man align with the image of God and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's something that a lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah, and in more modern times, of course, we have a more secular version of it where it's not related to religion in any way.
Yeah. The secular
So we
version
do
is
have that.
really, I really like the people who look into the secular version, because a lot of people are just like, okay, I'm spiritual, that's religious, and that's it. And nobody actually looks into the thing. And so it just seems
Mm-hmm.
to be, yeah.
Yeah, because like being from India, for example, just to like from India, everything like 100%, like 200% of the things you hear about related to spirituality are religious.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even if you go to a bookstore, you have like spirituality section, or like even the philosophy section, it's all religion basically,
Yeah, basically.
like 100% of it.
100%
So
of it.
that's how
Which is,
we learn about it, right? Even if they talk about spirituality, that they say is like this like modern Buddhism, for example, right? We talk about like Swami Vivekananda and all these guys,
yeah,
Ram Mohan Roy, we learned about in school.
yeah.
Even their version of like modern secular Buddhism, or like not Buddhism, secular Hinduism, sorry. Like even
Secular
their version of
Buddhism, haha.
even their version of secular Hinduism and like being more spiritual and less religious is still too religious for me, I
Yeah,
would say. So I would put that in the category of religion too. But yeah,
definitely,
what
yeah.
were you saying?
No, I mean, there's the same thing. Like, there are a lot of people who aren't really religious in the traditional sense, but they basically form their own sect of the religion, which I
Mm,
generally don't agree with. I'm like, yeah, whatever, yeah, cool, whatever. But I get what you're
mm,
saying. It's just overly religious in this country specifically. But thankfully, I
mm,
feel like that's changing, because I
mm,
know a few people who are very spiritual but do not believe in a god per se. And
mm.
so for me personally, I believe that religion in general corrupts people's minds too much. Not because of the religion itself. I actually think that people can really do good work and live very meaningful lives if they actually follow the religion properly. But the
The
problem,
original, like
yeah,
what they, not the bastardized versions
yeah,
of it.
exactly. So that's the
Yeah.
problem, because there's so many people who are corrupting religion. And again, I don't want this to be taken out of context and it's like, oh, this random Indian guy hates all religions. No, I think religions are good. They help people a lot, but the
Mhm.
people who are at the top of each religion, or who are influential leaders in each religion, corrupt the religion and the practices of it, which end up making the world a worse place, because they're like, it's all for self profit in the end, which is what really bugs me.
Yeah, self profit. Yeah, they add their own spin to it to profit
Yeah,
basically, and give out what their twisted version of it is.
exactly. Which is
Mm.
stupid for me.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, basic, if you like look into it, and we haven't looked into it a lot, but based on what we know, is like, yeah, most religions just tell you to be a good person at the base, at the origin.
Exactly.
Like, and I'm not talking about like weird cults or something, that come off like not those ones, but yeah, I'm talking about like the popular ones, I guess.
Yeah. No, the thing is, another point that I would like to make, which is,
But
hello, I'm
yeah,
first. Is that Forest Dan? I think it's Forest Dan. Ayaz, Ayazur? I'm pretty sure that's Dan.
Ayazur. I'm not sure, but yeah, what's up, Ayazur?
Or is that random otaku? I have no idea. It can't be a new person. Are you a new person? No way you're a new person. I don't believe it's a new person. It's either
Are you
Dan
new? Where you
or
from? What's up? Let us know.
it's either Dan or it's random otaku. I'm telling you. I recognize that picture. I just not able to recognize it perfectly.
Brew once ASL.
ASL.
But anyway,
ASL right now.
continue.
He's random otaku. See, I told you. Told you it's one of them. This is my real name. Ayazur. Yes, Ayazur is your
Oh,
real
what's
name.
up, Ayazur?
I highly doubt that,
Yes,
but yes.
continue.
Anyway, what was I saying? Shit. Oh yeah. So
You were
the
talking.
problem is that a lot of religions have this idea that you should follow the ancient texts, the sacred texts. You should do it. You
Oh,
should follow
yeah.
it as if they are. And that's actually a problem right now with the constitution in the US.
Yes, that's a problem with the constitutions all around the world. I would say
Yeah,
that
all around the world.
you have to follow what it is and not adapt it to
Exactly.
modern times.
Yeah.
Like,
And that is a big problem, because then you have these really outdated ideas. But so like, let me just give you one example that I learned of. Okay, did you know that in the Bible, since this is very topical, because like, freaking Roe versus Wade was overturned recently, semi recently, and all that shit. Did you know that in the Bible there is actually a entire section dedicated to performing an abortion?
wow.
And it's like very rudimentary, of course. It led to a lot of deaths
What
of
is
the
it?
mothers and all that.
Well,
I didn't go and read the Bible and figure out how to actually do it. But I was reading about, like, I was looking into the topic a lot. I was just following the news, as we talked about in our politics episode, which you can watch. I was looking into it, and I was reading up about it, and there are a lot of people who put out like little sections, little passages of the Bible, which didn't go through the entire depth of it, but it was enough context to understand that, okay, these guys actually had a plan for all these things. It's just that people didn't keep up with the times and be like, okay, you know what, we should improve upon this. Instead of that, they were just like, okay, we should stop. This is not cool.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And like anything, you need to update your shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
be it a constitution, be it like a religious book. I think anything needs to be updated.
Yeah. And Ayazur
Because the
says I had to
times,
change
they
my
are
name
changing.
because of my teachers. Oh, nice. I like that. And also, this is since we're talking about updating shit, this is a friendly reminder to all of you to update the software on your phones and laptops, because I've seen too many people who just have updates and it freaking bugs me. I'm like, just update the damn thing.
I know a couple of people, yeah.
Yeah, one person sits behind you every day. Yeah, you know what?
yeah.
Sorry, this is a small tangent, but you know something really annoying. My boss has a Pixel 6, okay, and I shoot on his phone every day because we're making some videos for business development, and every single time this man with the Pixel is like, Android 13 available for your phone. Would you like to install it? And he's like, nah. I'm like, dude. Fuck. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I understand. As a tech weeb, that shit can be annoying.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
But
that's the thing.
anyways.
So the modern take on spirituality is that a lot of people are, some religions shouldn't be updated. Why do you think that? And which religions are you talking about in specific? I would like to know. But the modern spiritual people are looking more into the secular aspect of it and not just the religious aspect, which is really good, because that is something
which
that
is really
continues
good.
to get better and better, and uses science to help with your life.
Yeah, it is basically a way of adapting religions. I think, like, I haven't read a lot into all secular versions of religion, so I'm not gonna say this like verbatim, but yeah, definitely
Big words.
uh, big words apparently. No, but definitely fuck, dude, you fucked me up with your- no, but definitely it's a more updated version of it, because like like most religions, I would say, like even like if you talk about um Indian religions, religions around the world, even like African religions to an extent have a base in spirituality, right?
Yeah.
Be it whatever reason, like fighting of evil or fighting your inner suffering or whatever the source may be, like they have an aspect of spirituality, right?
They do.
And like talking about, for example, as a kid, right, if we go to when we were kids, like, did you believe, because like you were also like raised religious, right? Yeah,
Initially.
so being raised religious as a kid, did you think about spirituality as like a self-improvement thing, or did you want it to be like more like God because that's how you were raised? Like,
No, it was always God. It was like I never understood. Like, one of the reasons I started questioning things in the first place was because I was like, what the fuck sense does this make? Because like the only thing I would look forward to was Lakshmi Puja in my house, because during
which
Lakshmi
is
Puja,
tomorrow.
I knew that. But
Yes.
during Lakshmi Puja, for those who don't celebrate it, at least the way we did it in Chennai was that everyone would have to keep their study, whatever they're studying, whatever books they're studying
That's
from.
Saraswati Puja. You're mixing the gods, I think. Yeah, that's Saraswati. Because my
Oh,
parents
Lakshmi is
made
the
me do
goddess
that
of
too.
money.
Wealth and money
Oh
and
shit! Okay,
dollar.
then Saraswati. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Saraswati, yes.
Yeah,
That's
so
Saraswati Puja.
yeah, I used to love Saraswati Puja because I would have to keep all my books, and my mom would be like,
Yeah.
you have to keep them there for a day so that she will bless them. I was like, I should be getting the blessing. I don't really understand why the books are being kept, but I was like, I don't have to study for a day. I'm more than happy with it. That was the only reason I even accepted all these things. And
Damn, dude, you got a whole day. I just had to like keep it there and then take it back out. Damn it.
yeah, we had a maybe it wasn't a day, maybe I'm misremembering, but it was a good while. It was
Yeah,
enough.
it's like a small amount of just during the duration of the puja.
And people shouldn't eat pork.
I
But
think he's talking about his religion.
yeah, I mean,
And when he says some religions shouldn't be updated and people should eat pork.
people should, like, people can eat pork if they want. The question becomes a more moral question of whether any animal should be eaten. Interesting.
You want. But anyways.
Yeah. That reminds me of that Bo Burnham song where he's like, from the perspective of God, and he's like, you shouldn't eat pork because why the fuck would I give a shit? But yeah. So just to talk about a couple of different aspects of it, so there's one problem with spirituality, I feel, okay, is that
No, wait, let's cover the last point. Like,
oh, okay.
so you like your belief in spirituality as a kid, like did it start later in life, like the concept? Because for me, I didn't know what the fuck it was. For me, it was just religion. I didn't have any idea about the spiritual side of it. So like I didn't know what the fuck spirituality was until much later, like in my teens, I think. And in my teens, since it was associated with religion, I was like, what the fuck, like I'm like, fuck off, don't tell me this shit, I don't believe it. Like it just sounds like, for me it was the same as like religion, right?
Yeah,
And because of that I did believe in it. And now I wouldn't say I still like openly, I wouldn't label myself as spiritual if someone asked me or anything like that, like I wouldn't call myself a spiritual person. But there are aspects, like sometimes there are aspects of self-improvement I see, like in some of them it's like, okay, that makes sense, like, but I wouldn't label myself as spiritual. What about you?
Yeah, one sec. Nandemo Theme is like, you can also Google it. You can Google what? I am confused. But yeah,
That we shouldn't eat pork, I think. But yeah, anyways.
No, I want you to explain. I can Google a lot of things, Nandemo Theme. Why are you here to tell me things? Yeah, but so for me, spirituality has always been strongly tied to philosophy, and it is
Even
okay,
as
it
when
is.
you were young.
No,
Or
but
is it the
so
recent-
this is right after I
didn't
gave up
even know the
religion
fucking word
entirely.
philosophy.
I mean, I didn't
Okay.
know it was called philosophy, to be very honest. I was too
Okay,
dumb
okay.
for that. I was just like
But yeah.
thinking about things. I was reading about things, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm assuming this is spirituality. And I probably didn't even call it spirituality. I'm pretty sure I was just like, this is being an atheist. And then I was like, yes, I'm smart. But then after that, I realized when I learned the words and learned some meanings, because I don't understand philosophy fully. Twitch is fine. YouTube is stuck for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
OBS is working perfectly fine. There should be no reason. Okay, it's back. Yeah. So, yeah, the thing is, Plato had this idea of the perfect world of forms. He had the idea of the spirit being a different thing entirely from the human body. And this is something that's there in Christianity. It's there in Islam.
It's in like everything, the soul, the Atma, as they call it. Yeah.
And a lot of these ideas. So basically, if you look at the golden age of Islam, right, there are three major philosophers at that time who influenced the entirety of Islamic thought, and they were very heavily inspired by Socrates, thereby Plato, thereby Aristotle, and so on. And these guys all had this idea of the spirit being a different thing. Some of them had the idea that the human body was the spirit. So there was a lot of debate around the golden age of Islam about whether the spirit is a different thing, whether it's a part of the human body or something like that, and all that stuff. So for me, this is just an evolution of what it is. Spirituality is just the entry point into philosophy, except people don't go all the way into philosophy, which is where I have a problem with it, because Sure, you're. I mean, I'm not saying everyone has to be into. Okay, actually, I'm saying that everyone has to look into philosophy at least once in their life. But when you're spiritual, you're basically putting your toes into the water, and you're like, this is enough, and you're never actually taking a step forward. Forget jumping in head first. So there's a lot of things that can actually help you live your life, can help you help other people live their life, and also just make the world a better place in general, which is being robbed from the people because they're limiting themselves to
Yeah.
spirituality alone.
Hmm.
That is my
No.
only problem with that. So that's where I had the change of thought, which was that, okay, you know what, I'm not just going to believe in a god, I'm not just going to be spiritual, I'm going to actually look into what these guys are saying, look into that's when I found Nietzsche, and I was like, oh, look, this is so even he has this idea of the spirit, right? I mean, he doesn't have it in the same way, he doesn't have it in the way which is like a soul, but he talks about the human spirit a lot, and how the human spirit is, can be molded, can be exercised, and your willpower can be exercised and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah,
that
that
sort of
is true.
evolution is really interesting for me. I think that's where people can find a lot of value, but they stop short of it every time.
Yeah, and no, that is true. Like you shouldn't, like, I don't know, because it is religion, maybe because it was and heavily is associated with religion still in a lot of parts of the world, right, where you have old school religions, right? So it like a lot of people, yeah, it makes sense that they do treat it as a religion, where they only revolve around it. Or even like some people who are obsessed with secular versions of it, where they're like, the whole like
I
like
know.
peaceful, like, aura they have about it. We have auras too, but people who believe in those. But yeah, it is important to understand it, but also like you said, philosophy and all, it is important. But I also believe that when you look at philosophy, you should also think about not only like blindly accept it like a religion, because then
Yeah,
it becomes something like that. Also, like, see how it adapts to the modern world and update it,
of
because
course.
like, even they were living a different time where
Yeah,
like a lot of things they said don't work in our modern world. Like
yeah,
they did a lot of terrible shit too. So you need to filter it through your own eyes, as you would anything, as
yeah.
you would do anything, and then understand. But yeah, I do think it's important. But yeah, like, don't blindly jump into anything that you would do, be it spirituality or philosophy or religion or anything.
Yeah. Just a sec. Ranataka says the
Hmm.
spirit is just a non-physical version of yourself, in my opinion. Well, but that again, I mean, is it a non-physical version in your brain? If you stop existing, if you die, does the spirit continue living on?
Is it your
So
consciousness?
that is the
Hmm.
question I have
Hmm.
uh, in asking for you. I mean, when I read your opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing about philosophy is that I have never seen a single person who, okay, I'm not talking about the edgy nihilists who are like who don't even understand what Nietzsche is talking about, and they're like, oh, bro,
Yeah.
life doesn't matter, bro, do whatever you want, bro, ha ha ha, bro. I'm talking about like people who are actually like looking into philosophy in a serious way. I've not met a
Yeah.
single. Okay, let's be honest, I've badly met philosophers. I've not interacted with or read about a single person online either who has gotten into philosophy and hasn't developed some level of critical thinking.
Yeah.
So you can't. I feel like it's very hard to actually just blindly accept philosophy because there are no answers at the end of the day. Nietzsche
Dude,
can
but
be like, you should be the Ubermensch, and he's like, yeah, make your own rules, live life with passion, and engage in the arts. And you're like, dude, like, what the fuck do I understand from that? Like, what arts? What rules do I make? And he's like, bro, I
yeah.
don't know, bro, figure it out. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? So that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
The spirit can be
No, that is
destroyed, but it will be
definitely true.
forever destroyed if it is. How can the spirit be destroyed? And I mean, yeah, if something is destroyed, it is forever destroyed. You can't really restore it now, can you? But how do you destroy a spirit? And can you take it out of the body? Yeah, go on, say.
No, but yeah, sorry, I just got this. But yeah, you random otaku, you can answer the question. But yeah, even if you talk about Nietzsche, right? Like, yeah, you can develop critical thinking even going into it. And yeah, a lot of people just go basic and they're like the bad, bad, bad. But also a lot of things he says, you may be like, not like, I don't know, like how he, like, suppose when he talks about free will, like for him, free will is stupidity, right?
Yeah.
Like he legit says that, right? And like those are lots of concepts that you're like, but again, this is not a philosophy episode. We're
I
not
mean,
going to go into good
I
and
feel
bad
like
things, but
it's
it
very
is,
closely tied. So even if we
yeah.
do talk about
But
philosophy, it's in the
again, it's
context of
like,
spirituality.
yeah, But I say you should apply critical thinking to everything. You shouldn't blindly like accept, no matter what it is. Like for me, like even if it's a religion, like like you treat like this person like God as an idol and follow his laws, or even if you're like, oh, Plato or whatever, like he knew everything, he was a genius. I don't think you should put anyone on a pedestal,
Yeah, of
like
course.
that way. I think you should like
Yeah,
filter things and see what makes sense.
yeah. I mean that is
That's all I'll say.
yeah.
Because all these guys also are like pretty sus.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The thing is like all these guys at the same time. So I'm completely in agreement with you. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that these guys said the exact same thing. They were like, "Hey, I don't know everything. That's why I'm asking
Oh, yeah,
questions." So
100%.
it's only the people who don't actually understand what they're reading who end up following it blindly. So anyone who
Yeah,
actually makes an effort,
sure.
they are just like really good. They understand the nuances. They update themselves. They're just really good with critical thinking in general. And
Yeah, there are lots of Plato's concepts I love, like allegory of the cave
allegory
and
of the
like all
cave,
that
of course.
stuff.
I mean,
And
allegory of the
how
cave is
these
like your
lives of-
fucking life story. Okay,
Yeah, so,
Genesis,
like, lots
allegory of the cave. Your life is there in like two
So
sentences.
there are so of course there are lots of aspects I like about it, right?
Yeah.
But then when he talks about like how when he talks about free will and like concepts like that, and I find it like I find it interesting because like he was pretty high placed in society at that point, and he did have slaves.
Of
Like, and
course.
someone having
And
slaves talking about free will is kind of contradictory, right?
he also
But it's
had
again, you got to see it through the lens of that time.
that time, yeah. Because I mean, all the ancient Greek, Roman, basically all the ancient philosophers from every part of the world were heavily into little kids, which was like very disturbing
Oh
to
yeah,
find
yeah,
out
that is
about.
like so fucked up. Exactly, yeah. So again,
But then again,
they're
at
not
that time, it
perfect
was
people.
considered a boon for the child because they were being mentored and raised by one of the greatest minds in human history. So
Yes.
I feel like that makes it a little weird. Anyway, one sec. Nandemo Theme says, it can be destroyed by God. I believe in God because I have done at least some research. I don't blindly just believe him. Okay, so here's my question, Nandemo Theme, and you can tell me if anything is offensive to you. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to ask, trying to understand some things and maybe help you understand some things as well. If God is omnipotent and omnipresent and omniscient and he has all the power in the world, everything can be made by him, everything can be unmade by him. If God can destroy the spirit, why can't he remake the spirit after destroying it? Because you said that it will be forever destroyed if it's destroyed. So does this God not have the capability of remaking the spirit? And if he can't remake the spirit, why can't he remake the spirit?
Yes. Yeah, he talks about the spirit being like, he says it can be destroyed, right? But like you see in a lot of religions also, they talk about like the physical form being destroyed and the spirit moving on, like rebirth and whatnot, right?
So I learned something very interesting recently. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but or if I even told you. But so when it comes to Christianity, we talk about I don't know why I said we. Christians talk about how you go to hell and then you burn in fire for eternity, and they're like the devil will poke your butt with a trident or something.
That's yeah, sure you can say that.
But yeah, so the thing is, when Christians talk about burning for eternity, now the meaning has changed a lot because modern Christians have changed it to like, yeah, you will literally be on fire for the rest of your life. But so Pascal's wager, right, which is like, would you, if there is a God and you don't believe in him, then you're going to be burned in hell for all eternity. So why don't you just believe in a God to be safe in the afterlife?
Yeah, the salvation concept. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, this they didn't believe that you actually burnt in hell for the rest of eternity. They believed that if you went to hell, your soul would be burnt instantly. It would cease to exist. And they meant that once it's burnt, you are gone for eternity. So the whole idea that most people have about hell and the punishment you get for being a bad person is just plain wrong. And I was mind blown when I read about this because it's actually in the Bible. Of course, there are different sects of the Bible as well. There are different books that the people follow. But this was
different versions of it.
Yeah, this the Catholic version, the one that all these people followed, was actually
Old
said
Testament.
this. Yeah, the Old Testament. I guess it's the Old Testament. It said that you burn, your soul burns, and it just ceases to exist if you go to hell. You don't actually have a form. You don't actually suffer. You just cease. That's it. That's the punishment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just a form of punishment at the end of the day, right?
Of course.
Because like they also talk about the first instance, like recorded instance that people know of this happening is like Hammurabi, Babylon, right? The
Yeah.
king of Babylon. And now he invented like this thing, like, you know, to because his subjects were not being good, so he gave them punishments. So, you know, if you steal, I'll cut off one hand, and like
Yeah.
he tried that concept of punishments to please, right? And a lot of people say that that turned into what modern religion is, that idea of giving people benefits and punishments for their actions in order for them to be good. Like
Very
that's what
possible.
people say is like
Yeah.
like that's what you read is like the origin of this concept.
Yeah.
So that probably turned into heaven and hell, like where like you're
Very
living this
possible.
life, and you
Yeah.
know, if you want to, if you do good, like you'll get
You go
benefits,
up.
and if you do bad,
What, Sid? You said it right for the first time. You didn't say if you do good, you'll go there. If you do bad, you'll go.
No, but the hell concept, right, of it, like this is just another small tangent of it being hot.
One sec,
right?
Nandemo
I
Theme was
love
wondering if he can hear him. Yeah, Nandemo Theme, we see your comments. I'll just respond to it in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, we respond. But yeah, the concept of hell being hot, and like in Sandman, it was so cool that they showed us cold.
Yeah.
And I like that because death is cold. Like death is something that is usually something that's cold, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's dead is like cold. And like, because life doesn't grow in extreme
Unless you're into
temperatures,
necrophilia,
like...
then everything that's dead is really, really hot for you.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. uh, but yeah, like that's how we relate it, like, you know, in our world, right, on earth. Because if you go to the poles, like nothing grows there, like, you know, it's dead, everything is dead, it's cold. So like the concept of him showing hell as something cold was more interesting and made more sense than it being a hot place. But maybe like, because heat is what keeps us alive to an extent.
true,
Not
yeah.
too much heat, but like more heat than cold.
More heat than cold, definitely. Yeah. And it's weird, like,
So
I'm
that's
just
an
thinking,
interesting
like,
way of spinning it. Like, is heaven like cold then, or is it
Yeah.
like, what's the temperature of heaven?
I've always heard
You
that
know?
heaven's temperature is it's a moderate. It's topical. It's like perfect. It's like the exact mix of hot and cold.
Yeah, but
And I'm like, no, I want it to
what
be
is it like
cold.
what-
If I go to
but
heaven,
is
I'm
it
turning
like-
the AC all the way down.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Is it perfect for you or perfect for someone else? You know, because for someone else, maybe like 40 degrees is perfect. And for us, we're like, no, but we're talking
but-
about Celsius.
Yeah, but also the concept of heaven being a great place for you, personalized for your good experiences, is also widely misconstrued, because what they actually mean by heaven is good people go to heaven is that people go to heaven and endlessly worship God. So you don't actually get
Yeah.
freedom in heaven. You don't actually get your needs met in heaven. You are just given this space to bow down before God and pray 24/7. So
Or it's like escaping the cycle of rebirth or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like
but
that,
you-
right?
but-
There are lots of versions of it, like,
yeah,
but
yeah. But the OG version is just you forever worshiping God, which doesn't really sound like a heaven to me. Because, like, I mean, even the most religious person has to be like, yeah, you know, if I could do like something else once in a while, that would be really cool. Like maybe if I didn't just sing songs of praise literally every second of my life, of my afterlife, that would be really cool.
yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course, like you gotta do it. Yeah, because they do say heaven, like, you know, you'll go there and everything will be according to the will of God, or you
Yeah.
know, whatever laws or whatever he sets, right?
Yeah.
And you are living your life following those laws, right? So is
Yeah.
it going to be the same? Is it going to be better? Who knows?
No one
But
knows.
yeah, anyways.
And also, let's Nandemo Thame's comments now. God has some
Yes, let's
characteristics
take
that he has, and he can remake it, but he wouldn't. So why wouldn't he? What is the reason for a God that can do literally anything? What is the reason for him to not do it? And also, how do we even know that God is a man? So here's the thing. A lot of people ask, like, why can't God be a woman? Okay, I understand there's a lot of sexism over there. I understand all that shit, yeah. But the thing is, why does God have a gender? Because having a gender means you are automatically assigned to something, and you are not a perfect being.
A lot of it doesn't, like I think Islam is aniconic, so they don't have like idols for it, right? For
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But God
yeah,
is still
anyways,
referred
there
to
are
in a
a lot
masculine
of-
form.
yeah.
Which is
Yeah, that's true.
weird,
In a lot-
because the masculine form has a lot of issues in it, which the feminine form doesn't. The feminine form has a lot of issues that the masculine form doesn't. And Randamataka, you say he is not a man or a woman, but you said he. So you should ideally be saying they are not a man or a woman. So
or God is not a
yeah.
man. That's how like they
So
say it, right?
why
The
he?
capital G.
The capital G. Snoop
No,
God.
but like, dude, like a lot of people do put like masculine aspects to it, but yeah, in a lot of religions, it's not seen as either or. Like, if you talk about like the base concept of it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jesus or Prophet
But yeah, a
Muhammad or
lot of
Moses or anyone
stories.
isn't a god, they're prophets or messengers. Yeah, but you are, I'm
Yeah,
just talking
we're
about
not
what
talking
you're
about
saying.
them.
You're saying he is not a man or woman. So why are you saying he if he is not a man?
But
And
maybe he just doesn't know God's pronoun, dude. Like, come on, don't blame him for it. But anyway, no.
no, but to your point, with so the idea of God when they talk about, we just say
Because I
he
know,
is just a being. Nandemo Theme,
yeah.
I think
So,
you need to do a little more research into this.
because I know for Islam, like it's an iconic, right?
Yeah, it is anachronic.
It's like
But
just an like, and for example, if you talk about Hinduism, it's like you have everything, like
yeah,
gods, goddesses, everything. And if you talk about like a lot of like Shintoism, if you consider that, like it's nature, like it's just energy.
yeah.
So for a lot of things, it's not really described like as a figure.
Yeah, so
But yeah, a lot of versions of it do add like their own adaptation.
yeah, and the thing is, I read about this as well. I think it was Saint Augustine who popularized it. But God, when people talked about God, they never meant a being. They never meant like a.
Yeah.
They never meant like a humanoid, because
Hmm.
to say that God is a humanoid or is a like even if you say God made humans in His own image, but that means that His image is flawed because we have flaws in us. So people,
Yeah.
so I think it was Saint Augustine, don't quote me on that, anyone, but I think he was like, people are not going to be able to relate to a being that doesn't have form, that is just omnipotent, omnipresent, and all powerful. So we need to attribute certain characteristics to this being so that we can help
Yeah.
people understand what we are saying better. And he was also
Humans love to categorize and label things.
Yeah,
That's like what
exactly.
we do. So yeah.
Yeah, but what did
God,
you
you
even
can
put
call
over
it
there?
God.
Yeah, God is just an
You just put
omnipotent
quotes.
being, and
Dude,
God is only one.
I remember like this really funny thing that Ricky Gervais said. Like he was talking about, he was saying like religious people and atheists, we aren't that different. I'm probably butchering his joke, but he was like, so I ask you, you believe in one God, but there are 99 other gods you don't believe in, right? So you don't believe in 99% of the gods, and I just don't believe in 1% more than you. So we aren't that.
I mean, that's fair.
Which is pretty fucking.
That's fucking fair. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
that's
But
good.
anyways.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, random. So the problem is that there are a lot. Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, if it's an omnipotent being, I don't know if Nandemo was a kid. I don't want to fuck his brain over in some weird way. Okay, what do you think of free
I don't
will?
think
Why
you
do
fuck his brain over.
why do you why does God give people free will if He has clear rules? Sorry, or if God has clear rules on what to do and what not to do. So, like for example, you say that people shouldn't eat pork, but there are a lot of people who are Muslim but still eat pork because they are raised in a more Western way. So why doesn't God just
I
stop
got a
them
lot of
from eating the
Yeah.
pork? Like they raise the pork to their mouth and God is just like, nope, it disappears. Just asking, because why allow people to do the thing that is supposedly banned? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I mean the idea of God was a spirit, was a not a spirit, was an entity, an enigma.
like an energy
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and people just weren't able to relate to it. They were like, what are they saying? Like, this is fucking cloud, is this thing they call God? And people are like, yeah, hey, you know what? Is this man up in the sky? They're like, now I get it.
And yeah, like these things also make it kind of interesting. Like for me as a story perspective, like even though I'm not religious, it makes it an interesting story.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
like if we were all atheists, then we wouldn't have like cool like mythologies and
That's
like
true.
all these cool stories and concepts.
No, but I
which
I
are,
think
like,
it's a shame.
interesting, right?
I think it's a shame because, like, okay, so Greek mythology, it's become mythology. It's become Roman mythology. It's become Egyptian mythology. But it's still Christian theology, and it's not Christian mythology.
Right, yeah.
Because Christianity killed
That's
all these
true.
other religions. Christianity overtook everything over there and then shut it the fuck down. And I'm like, dude, there are so many. There must be so many insane rituals. There must be so many insane traditions that the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians followed that we have zero idea about now because the entire thing was just eradicated before information could get out into the world.
Yeah.
Which is and all we have is
Lots of cool
freaking
things.
baptism now. Like I don't know what if like the Norse just dip their baby in like the enemy's blood or something, you know, a bucket of blood, and they're like, yo, warrior. Yeah, that would be cool. I would want to do that.
Cool. You wanna dip your baby in a pool of blood?
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about Audi, then I will need a swimming pool. But yeah.
Or like 300, just let them go.
Yeah.
Like wolves in the night.
Exactly.
In the dark, cold night.
Yeah, we don't know what these guys did. We don't know
like
if the Egyptians just like took their little like, you know, 10-year-old kid, shoved him into a pyramid and was like, yeah, find your way out, bitch. Hopefully the traps don't kill you.
The rite of passage is also an interesting concept. A lot of religions and a lot of cultures have this rite of passage, coming of age. Like you may celebrate through ceremonies or like tests or like trials and stuff like that, right? But like even though those are like, you think of it like some are fun, some are like parties, and some are like you gotta go spend the night in the forest, or like,
and some are like we have to sacrifice a virgin into the volcano,
or some are like you gotta cut your like, you know, penis off or some shit. But
impregnate a woman right now and cut it.
But at the end of the day, like even though it's suffering, like as like you know, it's like the stories are fun even though the people suffered.
Yeah, that is true. The stories are really fun. And also another thing is like I believe that spirituality, I mean this is spirituality, isn't it? I believe that spirituality has this thing where suffering brings people together and then people help each other you know, alleviate that suffering. And I feel like that's why there's a lot of these painful freaking ceremonies that people have. Like even if you look at Assassin's Creed, like okay, so it was, I don't know if you played the game or if you know the story, so I'm just going to explain it. In Origins, right, in Assassin's Creed Origins, Bayek, he has the hidden blade and he accidentally cuts off his finger. So it's an accident, but it became the rite of passage to become an assassin after a point. You have to cut off the finger.
Okay.
And it's like that's what brings you together, because you're like, okay, I have made this vow, I am giving up this finger to join the cause, and we have that in common. We have that connecting us. I think that's what a lot of these ceremonies are also, because of the spiritual aspect of it, because they're like, dude, you walked over hot coal. So did I. Your daughter was thrown into the volcano. Oh my god, samesies.
Yeah. And a lot of them are just parties, like, you know, where they're like, yo, let's celebrate, be of age.
I mean, but I'm just saying that the pain things like give people common ground.
Pain, like, that's a good point. Like suffering, pain, like that's why a lot of people go through them, right?
Yeah.
To get to find common ground.
Yeah. Okay, now.
But yeah, Nandemo Theme said a lot of stuff if you want to.
So God has given us free will because we asked him to. He asked us if we are sure after our spirits were created, and we said yes, and we don't remember it because of our free will. He has some rules to show us the correct path and not to follow Satan. Damn, this is the only first stream which is interesting in a while. Okay, so addressing the other two comments, because I'm going to ignore the third one completely now. Okay, so why did God give us free? Why did God even ask humans what they want? God, we are literally human. We are literally the slaves of God, if you think about it that way. So why were we given a choice in the first place? Like, why was God like, hey, I created you guys, you have to listen to everything I say, but do you want the option of not listening to everything I say? And also,
and according to other concepts, we stole it, like the apple.
Yeah, there are, I mean, the most common answer to that is like, God gave us free will so that he can test us, and then we go, oh my god, like you know, it's like me taking, I'm like, okay, I take my dog and I'm like, hey, here's a treat, sit, and he like sits, I give him the treat, and then I just hold out the treat and I'm like, oh, is he gonna take it? Of course he's gonna fucking take it. I can test him like that. That's his nature. Anyway, and he has some rules to show us the correct path and not to follow Satan. So why can't he just stop us from not following Satan in the first place? Why can't God just be like, hey, I don't, okay, and also, sorry, just another quick question, because I don't know which Satan you believe in. There are many different versions of Satan in each religion. So my question is, why did Satan? Why was Satan improper? Why was Satan wrong? And what did he do to be considered wrong? And the third part of the question is, why did God allow Satan to be wrong and create a being that could actually tempt us and take us away from the right
That's
path?
Yeah, that's also interesting because like a lot of like Satanism and like small like versions of Satanism were started as like a rejection of their religion.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't want to follow you, so I'm gonna go follow
Yeah.
Satan kind of thing, and like we'll start this religion where we are
So
like opposing. Like it was started as a revolt, right, towards their
but the weirdest thing is, so Lucifer, the first angel, at least from whichever one believes in him,
Yes.
Lucifer did not even tell God like he doesn't believe in him. The crime that Lucifer committed was apparently that God said that angels should love humans as much as they love God himself. And Lucifer was like, God, I love you more than humans. I'm sorry, I can't love these fucking apes the way I love you. It is impossible. I love you too much.
Yeah.
And God was like, "You son of a bitch, did you just not do what I told you? Did you just specifically not love the fucking human?" And he's like, God, I love you. I'm literally telling you I love you. Like, down to hell with you, motherfucker. Down to hell with you. So it's really stupid that that is
Well, hell is
the
just the
crime
way
he
you get
committed.
punishment. Yeah. And hell has been made like crazier and scarier using stories and
Yeah.
like, if you talked about Dante's Inferno and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like,
Which
it's
basically
been made,
defined
for
hell.
me, yeah, for a lot of people it's scary, but for me something that's pretty cool, like as a story concept.
Okay. Here's my only issue with Dante's
Because
Inferno.
again, for me it's just a story.
Here's my only issue with Dante's Inferno if it was real. Okay, you put the thieves together, okay, there's nothing to steal. They're just going to be chilling and be like, hey, I stole from the Queen of England. I was also going to be like, damn, son, how did you do that? And then more thieves are going to join them. Yeah, exactly. That is true. and more and more thieves are going to come in and more stories are going to be shared. Okay, murderers are going to get along really freaking well and try to murder each other in the afterlife, and they won't be successful. They're going to have fun. Okay, and then you all these people are going to get along, and then you have the hedonists over there, and they're just going to be fucking all day long. What do you think?
Yeah,
What are you expecting putting them together in a separate ring?
Island.
Yeah,
I know, right?
You literally are drowning in bodies.
Over there.
Baba, really? Are they? Are they really? Oh.
I'm gonna put this hot iron through your ass.
And they're like, oh no, don't do it, please. Definitely not. Okay, only one. Definitely not another one anywhere else. And don't spank me. I hate that.
Please don't spank me.
Yeah.
But
Christ.
yes.
Okay, Nandemo, you finish saying the whole thing and we will address it after that. But yeah. So talking about spiritual
Talking about
people.
a lot of Islamic concepts.
Yeah, he is.
Of course, but yeah.
But yeah, talking about spiritual people. So Bob, who used to live here and left to go to Boblur, his sister is a very spiritual person. She doesn't believe in a religion per se, but she's very she was, I mean, the best way to say it is that she's a very spiritual person. But at the same time, she's very different from people who generally do call themselves spiritual. She believes, so she has this idea of self-affirming and reaffirming life and being positive and using your mind to control your mood and your day and your life and so on. And she's been through a lot of her own problems in life, so I can definitely understand where she's coming from for all these things, because it has worked out for her. But the thing is, I don't really care whether she believes in that or not, because firstly, it's not her personality, it's just a part of her personality, which is a very important point, because most people make their spirituality their entire personality, and literally every word that comes out of their mouth is like them trying to create a new quote for the next generation to follow. So, and this woman is just like so freaking positive all the time that it's like, I'm telling you, the day she left back to go home, there was an air of like silence in the house, because she's a very positive, bubbly person who improves your mood just by being around you. And she always like supports anyone who's going through something, or she's actually gone, like, she's a huge animal welfare activist. she's a huge she's helped like random people. Like she travels around, and when she meets people, she has this way of getting people to talk to her, okay, and just share. And in her travels, people share their sob stories, and she sits with them for hours and makes them feel better about life. Because
That's great. Wow.
yeah, she believes that's what she should be doing in life. She should be helping others. She should be making them
This
feel
is
more.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really helped me as well, because like whatever shit happened a week before that, she'd already like talked to me and prepared me for everything about the decisions I had to make. And I was like, God freaking damn, what the fuck? What is this magic? It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
She's like the
Yeah,
best
that doesn't
spiritual
sound like a
person I've
real
ever met.
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like a real person.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that is true. And a lot of people, like spiritual or religious, are good people. Like, I'm not the kind where I'm like, I'm not gonna talk, like, because I know I have
Yeah, of
friends who are
course.
like, I'm not gonna make any religious friends. Like,
Of
fuck
course.
them. I'm not that kind of person. Like you are nice. Like, as you're, if you're a nice person, regardless of the religion you follow. And I have a lot of friends who are like super super religious, but they don't push their agenda onto me, so we are like good friends.
Oh,
Which
I
is,
wish.
you can find common ground, right? And like, I've had really nice people who have treated me very well, even though, like, so even though we aren't even though we don't agree on a lot of things. So yeah,
I saw
again, there
that
are good
message,
people
Random
everywhere.
Otaku. Did you see that message, Sid?
No, what?
He said, "Is that deodorant on Bruce's shelf?" I thought he didn't shower. I shower every day, okay?
Ooh.
And also, I don't even use this deodorant. I don't even know whose this is. Oh, it's
Which
full.
one?
It's an Axe Pulse energizing
Axe.
citrus fragrance.
Ooh. That's how he showers, by the way, watching Bruce showering live.
Wow. YouTube's going to understand what we just said and then ban this channel for that. But yeah.
But see, I remembered something. We were talking about like spirituality and religion, right? Like, when I was like, one of my roommates in the past,
Bob.
she was, yeah, Bob. She followed spiritism, which is like this weird like religion, like
got
very
it, yeah.
small religion started by like that French dude that I hadn't heard of
course.
before. And yeah, the ghosts, where they like believe in ghosts and like the ancestors, and they pray in graveyards and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, that's another, would you call that
Does that-
spiritual? Because it is literally praying to the soul of people and believing that souls exist like
Wait,
after
doesn't
people
doesn't
die,
that
and they
isn't that
still
like
go
a
around.
subset of mysticism?
No, I know it's based on a book written by this French dude that they treat as like their Bible. But maybe it is.
These
Maybe that
freaking
dude was
French
inspired by
dudes who write books,
mysticism.
man. Albert Camus, this guy.
I don't know that guy's name. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, but I would definitely consider that spiritual. I would consider
Kardec.
anyone
Alan
thinking.
Kardec, apparently.
Oh, I would consider anyone thinking about life and death to be spiritual. It's just that most people don't think about life and death. That's why I don't consider them spiritual.
Also, like, you can have spiritual experiences with some LSD, so like, you don't really need religion.
Yes.
Like, come
let's
on.
promote
Take some
drugs on the
psilocybin
channel
or
now.
something. Yeah, definitely go try it out.
One Piece is the greatest form of fiction, even better than the Bible. Somebody has been watching Sylvanas.
I know, right? But it's
Okay.
true. I can't disagree.
Yeah, I know, right? Random
No,
Otaku,
but yeah.
you didn't go on with your explanation. You just stopped after not all of them are evil and not all of them are saints. So maybe like give us more context over there.
Yeah.
Also,
But
by
you
the
can
way,
have spiritual experiences in other ways.
once I said, by the way, Random Otaku, we are going to go watch One Piece Red tomorrow.
Yes, we are. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll do some.
Did you read before that? Yeah, I did read. I'm just saying that I think that you can explain a little bit more so that we can have a better conversation about it. And yeah, Sid, no, we're not promoting drugs. But yeah, you can have a lot of spiritual experiences with LSD in particular.
Ayahuasca, like a lot of people, like this is something that, a lot of people talk about,
Of course.
right?
I mean, like even the Beatles.
Out of body experience, yeah.
Jokes on you, Sid. My mental illness is giving me out of body experiences.
Clearly. But yeah.
I mean, even the
a lot
Beatles
of
found it
people
very
have talked
spiritual. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
first time I
there
learned
are-
that's why it was called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I was like, oh.
Mind blown, like everyone else.
Yeah.
Every other teen who was like, oh my god, this is deep.
Yeah. And the thing was, I had read such fucked stories on the internet by that time already that I was like, okay, yeah, LSD is like, what is that? It's nothing. And then this friend of my sister's, I believe at that time, she messages me and she's like, holy shit, I'm sending this to everybody I know who knows the Beatles. Look at this, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds about LSD. I was like, oh, they did LSD, cool. And she's like, they did LSD. I'm like, yeah, and she's like, do you even understand what they mean? I'm like, yeah, they did drugs. Okay, get over it. And then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just fucked in the head. That's all.
Yeah, like, it's like any like old Indian relative or parent be like, they got caught, they had weed. Okay, so they had weed.
My family has done that with condoms because I gifted my cousin brother a pack. Like, so my Gaura and I, we
Is he really that poor? But
no. We went out of our way, so we've had to get a haircut before the wedding. So when we went to get the haircut, we found a store on the way back. We looked through flavors, found a banana flavored one because that sounded the most disgusting. Bought a box of condoms, gave it to him, and then I walk into the room to help out with something, and my aunt is like, looks at my mom and she's like, do you know what these guys did? And my mom's like, what? Like, they got cousin something. And my mom's like, what did they get? And she's like, condoms. Mom's like, oh. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, dude, why do you even know about it? This is supposed to be a cousin's thing.
she probably wants grandkids, so she's like, how dare you?
Oh, they actually do have a kid now.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah.
No, but yeah. Anyways, I forgot what I was gonna go off on a tangent for spirituality, but yes.
You're going to go off on a
By
tangent about
condoms.
drugs, okay? Let's be honest.
Yeah, after drugs, like no, talking about spirituality and ghosts and like the manifestation of spirits and ghosts and stuff. Like a lot of people believe in like fortune telling and like ghosts and like
Yeah.
all that shit, which I don't believe in at all. Like, but
Yeah.
and like horoscopes and all. Do you think that's based in spirituality?
No,
to some
that's
extent?
all.
'Cause
That's
what a lot
all
of
like
them would be.
pseudo
That's all
spirituality.
pseudo, exactly. That's like pseudo spirituality, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
that's
hate
where-
anything that says that everything is predetermined because, god damn it, then what are we all struggling for? Why are we all struggling every day of our lives to make the world a little better for us if everything is predetermined? Why? What sadistic fucking being would sit up at wherever heaven is and be like, this motherfucker gonna suffer all his life and get like 1 year of peace? That's it. Fuck you. Live poor.
Yeah, that's
Struggle every day, work hard, do manual labor for some people, earn like the bare minimum, try to get married if you can, because I also set up rules that you have to get married in a really expensive way, go into debt, and then maybe you'll have kids who'll take care of you later on in life, or they'll probably kill you because you
but for them who are like totally into that, they're like, oh, like the basic things that we don't have are like the blessings we're getting. Like those.
Yeah,
are the
I mean,
good
I
things.
understand that. I'm not knocking people who are religious. I'm just saying
No,
that
I know. I'm saying it's funny that like the basic things they should already have are
Yeah.
like treated as these rewards.
yeah, it's like, if I just hate predeterminism in general, because I'm like, if everything
Yeah.
is determined, then it should be easier to do. You don't have to go through the struggle. You don't have to grow as a person. Everything is set in stone. It doesn't matter. And like, it just takes away the effort but that each living being is putting into living.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we all know sometimes it's a struggle to get out of bed in the morning. Okay, like I just do not want to face this day right now. God will reward us if we follow him.
He's talking about Satan was a jinn and all. Yeah, he's just talking about like concepts from
Yeah.
the Quran.
He was so close to God and his belief was so strong that he was as close to him as angels. Yeah, but again, what was Satan's mistake and why was it so bad that he had to be considered the role model to go after if you are a bad person? And also, God will reward us if we follow him. What is the reward? And if God is omnipotent, omniscient, everything, and God is a living being at the end of the day, why can't God just appear in front of all of us and be like, I exist? Why can't, I mean, will we even know which the correct God is? Like, okay, so honest question, Random Otaku. If God came in front of you and told you that, Islam's wrong, Christianity is right, would you believe it? would you believe it if like a divine light flashed into your room, a being came down and God was like, your belief is wrong? Would you accept that? Because I don't think most religious people would. I don't think most spiritual people would either.
No, I think they would just like, I think Nandemo Theme would say like he wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Because
of
that's
course.
how he's
But
been
that's my
taught
question.
and, like,
If he did that,
Mhm.
would people change their beliefs? I really don't think they would. I don't think atheists would believe that there's a God if God came in front of them and like they'd be like, "Ha,
Yeah, it'd be
nice trick you're playing. Where's the camera?"
yeah. I remember the what's his name, dude? Rowan Atkinson's The Devil.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
fucking funny.
Christians,
stand-up,
turns out the Jews were right.
And atheists, we were also down there.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Also, I would change my beliefs. Okay, so now follow-up question: how do you know your beliefs are right? How do you know that, as Sid said, the 99 other gods in the world or the 99 other beliefs in the world aren't true? And maybe you're wrong. I'm not saying you are. I'm not telling you you're
Maybe we
wrong
are
or right. Yeah.
Also, maybe our beliefs are wrong.
Yeah. I'm just asking, how are you so confident that what you think is right? How do you ensure that you are on the right path? Is there something?
Bro, maybe no,
Yeah.
again, maybe like if you ask, like for just to like talk about it, maybe if you ask ourselves this question, how do we know that our beliefs are right?
So I'm more than ready to accept that my beliefs are wrong.
Yeah.
But I do have this. I've always thought about what would I do if there is a God and there is an afterlife. And my first question would be to God. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, really? You do exist, and you couldn't like improve things a little, just a teeny tiny bit? Like, do you see Jeff Bezos down there? The motherfucker is immortal now. He's perfected medicine to exploit people for the rest of humans,
Yeah,
human
like,
life.
can you help people in
Yeah.
Ukraine? Can you help people in Pakistan who are fucking drowning? Like,
Yeah. and I already like I thought a lot about this, and I was like, okay, well, so
Yeah.
what if even I can't think. I've thought about it for years. I can't think of a single explanation that a divine being could give me that I would not defy them even at that point. I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, dude, send me to hell. I don't give a shit. Send me to hell. Send me to the
Yeah.
deepest part of hell. Poke my butthole with a trident. I don't give a shit anymore. Fuck you.
No, yeah, and like, yeah, it's just a trust thing. Like, I trust myself than a random person I don't know exists telling me to do things.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm very aware of the fact that I could be very wrong, and I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying
me too.
science is absolute
Definitely.
at all. There's a lot we have left to learn. Like
Science
we
is
literally
based on
cannot.
the concept that it's not absolute.
Yeah, we literally
that is
still
what
cannot recreate life. We understand how everything works, and we don't know how to like kickstart it. What's the power source that actually brings something to life? That's something that a lot of people are struggling to understand.
Yeah, the concept of the soul as they talk about it,
Yeah.
right? Like, even that's
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
because
we
we've
don't even
recreated
understand the human
cells.
brain properly, dude.
That's true. We've recreated every cell we can think of, right? Like, there's not been one part of an animal or human body that scientists haven't been able to recreate. It's just that it's not. They're like it's the exact replica, but it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
which is really weird. I'm confident because I also read and heard a lot of lines from the Bible. I've not done enough, but I've heard a lot of lines from the Bible. Okay, so but what about Hinduism? What about Buddhism? What about Sikhism? What about any other ism? And the Quran, atoms, gravity, and other things are mentioned 1,400 years before they were discovered. Is this like the Hindu? Is this like a Muslim version of the Hindu saying like nuclear weapons were used in the Mahabharata?
No. A lot of like books, like they have basic scientific concepts as a way to deliver them to people, like in their weird, like religious metaphorical ways.
Yeah.
I haven't read in detail, so I don't know if they have
I've
if
never
they're correct
heard
or
about.
not, but they do. Because I've heard about even the Bible describing a lot of like scientific concepts, Hinduism and like even Islam. Like a lot of them do like basic ones that people had an idea
Yeah,
of
but-
back then, but they describe it as more like through a religious thing than saying it's because it's
Yeah,
the
I've
scientific-
definitely heard the religious ones, and I've also heard the philosophical ones which aren't really, I forgot the fucking word for it. There was this has been there from like freaking Socrates, who said that there were invisible particles around, and then somebody gave it a name. I forgot the name, but I mean, I've never heard of
No, I've come across religions like mentioning such things and such concepts.
but I mean, not in the
Even
same way
science,
that
like they
science
talk about
has.
otherworldly things. Like I think the Bible also like talks about aliens in a lot of situations.
Okay, I haven't
But
read that.
yeah.
Are you sure you're reading the right Bible? Maybe not like a
Yeah, I'm
fanfic
not
of it.
kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, I grew up studying the Bible.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
went to a Catholic school, so yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Nandemo Theme, that still doesn't explain why you think that you are. You can Google it. Listen,
Like,
there are a
for
lot of
example,
things
like
that I can
Jacob's
Google.
ladder, right? Jacob's ladder is supposed to be like the spine, I think, if I'm not like the way they talk about it. But yeah, a lot of different concepts are explained in like basic ways. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know the motivation and how this. So I'm not gonna say it's like accurate. But yeah, they are.
Yeah, because I'm assuming like even they didn't know the fact that things are molecules, and then molecules have atoms, and then atoms have electrons, protons, and neutrons, and all that stuff. It's just that they were like, okay, big thing made of small thing. I mean, I'm not even saying it's like a religious thing. Like even philosophers at the time were like, what if everything is made of water? And people are like, shut the fuck up, dude. How the fuck is a wall made of water, you dumbass?
But yeah, a lot of concepts about the world are wrong. Also, like that they thought, right? For example, the Norse did believe that the Earth was kind of flat. And you see, like if you go off in one place, it's just hell, and in one place it's just cold, and then you fall off the Earth. Right.
I mean, to be fair though, their entire world was cold.
Which is like in the center. Yeah.
Until they went off to other places.
And you can, and even if like I be like, yeah, it was formed by Ymir, like the Earth was formed y Ymir dying. Like
Christ,
if I go into
for some reason when you said Ymir, I just immediately thought of Attack on Titan. I was like, fuck, flashbacks, no.
It's not.
Fuck.
It's not. Please detach it, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, they are all interesting stories and ways of humans trying to figure out the world. To me, that's all it is.
I mean, that is what even philosophy is, right? It just started off as humans were like, big ball of thing, fire in sky. What that? Excuse me. Hello, anyone know what that? Hello? And they're like, yo, what if it's like a god, you know? And they're like, man. No, Ymir is not AOT. It's not. Yeah, I know. I'm not an idiot. I'm just saying it reminded me of Attack on Titan. Also, yeah. So what?
You're like, bro, Thor is not Marvel. It's not.
What? Thor is
Did
not.
you know that?
Bro, you're kidding me. Thor is not Marvel. It's clearly God of War.
And do you know Loki is not his brother? Oh. Mind blown.
Weirdly, some books of Norse mythology talk about Thor, Loki, and Odin being like brothers, and I don't understand how that works. My God.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I know Loki and Odin are, but Thor is clearly not.
Yeah. And bro, it's from the Bible. Exactly. Thor is from the Bible. Jesus is just his other name. Oh my God. Jesus, son of a carpenter, had a hammer. Thor is literally Jesus. Nah, Odin is not his brother. Yeah, and there's some stories which talk about.
No, some do talk about them being related. Like, he's talking about Thor, not Odin.
He is his
Loki.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Nandemo Theme, stop avoiding the question. How do you know that your beliefs are right?
Quite interesting.
Yeah, Norse mythology is beautiful. All mythology. I really hate the fact that it's mythology. I really want them to be real. Why are they less valid than any other religion?
You want it to be a religion.
Yeah.
You want to pray to Athena for her grace. Yeah. And not to pray to Ares. Like, bro, would be religious if Greek mythology was real. That is what he's saying.
I mean, they're like a ton of.
Would you keep switching? Like, would you kill? Hey, I feel Egyptian today. Like,
yeah, of course. Okay. To be fair. Norse mythology, Greek mythology, and of course Roman mythology, but also Egyptian mythology are all so closely interlinked. They share similar gods. The gods are like multiversing over there. Okay.
Hindu mythology shares a lot of aspects of like all these things.
Yeah, but it's like Io literally becomes Io because she's like, oh, fuck, what is it? Fuck. Oh, from Egyptian mythology to Greek mythology, or from Greek mythology to Egyptian mythology. Fuck, I forgot. But yeah, there are a lot of people who just jump universes and they're like, yo, I'm peace out. and they just go to another
Yeah.
universe, and it's really fun. Like all these stories are like amazing. All these gods are so imaginative, and they're like they have gods for everything. They have gods for everything. Like there's a god of wine. Dionysus is just sitting there and he's like, yummy. And so many of our words are from those religions, and they're now just dead. It's so weird, and weirdly, all the structures are still there. You can still see ancient Greek structures. You can still see ancient Roman structures. The literal pyramids are one of the wonders of the world. And of course, Norse mythology.
The only reason it's there apparently is because the Britishers couldn't move it to their museum.
Yeah.
Because they took everything else from Egypt and Greece.
Exactly.
But pyramids, these things don't move.
And somehow we're like, yeah, those religions, those are nonsense. Like, really, you believe in Ra? I'm like, come on, man. If you can believe in one religion, I think you have to accept that people can believe in other religions. Otherwise, it's very short-sighted of you in general. Like even the story of Ra is so cool.
You believe in Ra, like you don't believe in Surya, you believe in Ra, like it's like the same
and then you looked at like this lunatic.
Kind of cooler to me because I'm not familiar with it.
But you looked at as a lunatic if you say like, yeah, I believe in Ra, and they're like, oh, yeah, you believe in Ra? Who the fuck is Ra? Like Egyptian mythology? Like, Egyptian? What? I'm like, dude, you literally believe that a literal ball of fire is a god and he rules the other gods, and you're telling me that I can't believe the same thing but in a different form?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of holes in...
It is back to what Ricky Gervais said, which I think is fucking amazing.
But I mean, there are a lot of holes that can be poked into the mythology in this thing. But like the problem is like, so for example, the Titans fell in Greek mythology. The Titans fell, and the gods took over. But then the Titans, to avenge the Titans, Gaia made the I've forgotten everything today. But Gaia made like these brothers of the Titans who went and they couldn't be killed by a god and they couldn't be killed by a human, so they had to be killed by a god working along with a human or a demigod. And that was one thing. And that's, I'm like, why can't that just happen again? Why can't Gaia be like, you know what, bro? I've been sleeping for like a few thousand years. Time to fuck these bitches up.
Yeah. And again, these are really cool because I don't know, I just find mythology is really cool and interesting.
Like it just so
I understand like if I was living in that time and following that, it would be fucked, like if I was a Viking and I had to go up to Odin's temple and probably be sacrificed as one of the human sacrifice, I'd be like, what the fuck this religion. So I understand that. But it's cool as a story.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not part of it, and it's kind of.
I know the Titans are stuck in Tartarus, but Tartarus is literally part of Gaia, so she can. Well, yeah, Tartarus is kind of like Gaia's butthole.
Yeah.
So she can like literally just create some shit to just spew out of her butthole straight into the world, and
And in some versions, it's like a sun, I guess.
And some versions it's supposed to be the son of chaos, so it's technically Gaia's brother.
Yeah.
Then she has sex with her brother and has more kids in Tartarus.
Husband/brother. Well, husband isn't really a term that they care about. But
so what are you talking about? There were no other Titans. No, they weren't Titans. Wait, one second. Let me just quickly check this because I this guy also wrote a freaking book about it.
Who?
Rick Riordan. The dudes who...
Oh, Rick, oh damn, that guy.
Yeah, the Greek mythology, Percy Jackson series guy. So
Oh yeah, those were cool, dude. I loved those as a kid.
Yeah, he talked about... So one of his series is also about how the Titans are taken care of, and then these dudes come back, and then they, like, Percy has to play... and all the Camp Half-Blood people have to, like, work with the gods in... they have to fight as a team and kill all these dudes. I forgot the fucking names, dude.
Of?
The Gigantes. Gigantes. These were the guys who...
Giants, you mean?
Yeah, but no, these weren't just the giants. Fuck, okay, this is wrong. But okay, what the fuck? Add the beans to a pot with enough cold water to cover. Will bring to a boil. Why is this there in Greek mythology talking about giants?
Are you talking about the gods of the underworld?
No. I literally forgot what. Okay, you know what? Let's just
I
go
don't
ahead.
remember. I don't remember Percy Jackson very well, so I won't be able to tell you. Except
Yeah.
that he had a pen that turned into a sword, which I wanted very badly as a kid. I was like, I need that fucking pen.
Yeah. I mean,
But now that I think about it, it's very dangerous if I had it with me.
yeah, but you just be absent-mindedly being like tick and then kill yourself.
Ramen recipe is important to worship Zeus. Ramen recipe, like,
Which ramen recipe? There are hundreds of recipes.
but yeah, a lot of these are quite interesting. Also, if you talk about like Mayans and Aztecs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And how for them, like, self harm or like bloodletting, harming themselves was a way of worshipping their
Yeah.
gods.
I mean, that's still prevalent in
Not even
society today.
yeah, but like not only in the way of human sacrifice, but like sacrificing other things, like just like while humans were being sacrificed,
Yeah.
like like of course every god needed a different type of sacrifice. Like some gods wanted you to drown, some wanted you to burn,
Yeah.
but the god that wanted you to be like killed, like like people who used to watch that, like the normal people, they used to cut themselves like as a way of celebration to the god, like also while enjoying and watching it.
Yeah.
There's crazy world out there once you learn about it.
Yeah.
Like fucking insane.
Said time to start some.
There's one about the reincarnation of some god where
Okay.
like this kid is chosen, like this dude, like this boy is chosen, and for 1 year he's basically that god, like the god has reincarnated in him. So 1 year he roams around, he has a ton of wives, lives like the best life, whatever, like and then after that he's sacrificed after that 1 year. And then another kid is chosen and like lives life as that god. Like it was these weird traditions they had.
I see. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting obsession you have with this, it seems, is a little concerning.
What?
Just the amount of
what?
detail you know about a lot of different
Well,
sacrifices
I
and
read into
self harm and shit like that.
That's what they used to do. I was looking into Mayan religion because I find it really interesting. I was reading about like how they used to do things and what their beliefs were, and it's quite fucked up. I would hate to live in that world, but now I read about it. Oh, that's kind of cool. As a story, not reality at all.
Fucking hell.
Hmm.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah, like you have to drown. Like yeah. Anyway,
My God.
you need rain. You gotta drown someone. If you drown someone, I'll give you rain.
Okay.
What are you looking? You're still
I
searching
finally
for that
found
thing.
it, and I'm so pissed because they're just called the Giants.
Yeah, that's what I said. The giants, because you
Yeah.
said gigantes or whatever, and that's just giants,
Yeah.
right? That's what it means.
But yeah, so basically, the Giants were raised by Gaia to kill the gods, and they were made in such a way that the gods couldn't kill them. It's a really weird thing because
It's exactly like the giants in Norse mythology,
yeah,
also,
that's true.
right?
No, but the weird thing is like actually the giants in Norse mythology could be killed by gods. Like Odin himself has fucked over giants and
Yeah, the
killed
giants
a
could
lot
be
of
killed
them.
by gods,
Yeah.
but they used to keep attacking the
Yeah,
gods
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, right? Like,
But so it's really weird
anyway.
because in Greek mythology, Uranus is a tyrant, and then Gaia helps
No,
Kronos.
yours.
Gaia helps Kronos kill him, and then Kronos becomes a tyrant. So Gaia and Rhea help Zeus kill Kronos, and then Zeus becomes a tyrant and anyway, and then Gaia at this point is like, motherfucker, you know what? Fuck all of you guys, you fucking assholes! I give birth to always become tyrants. I'm going to raise a new class just to fuck all of you over.
Yeah.
Ah, Christ, poor woman.
Yeah, but the giants are cool. There are lots of
Yeah, they are
interesting ones.
they are supposed to be really really freaking strong, and I believe it was Hercules. I think Perseus also was one of the heroes who fought against the giants. I don't remember, not Hercules then. Perseus and someone, but yeah, basically somebody had to do all
Maybe
this.
Hercules did. He went through so many fucking trials. I don't remember all of it.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He didn't have that as a trial. By the way, can you see these texts? Yes, we
I
can see
think
the
most
text.
of it was killing animals.
Yeah, the Nemean lion.
Oh, Achilles did kill a giant.
I'm becoming balder and balder by the day. I see. Did he?
He
Which
did
one?
kill a giant, yeah. Porphyrion.
Ah.
With an arrow, apparently. But it wasn't a trial. The giant was apparently attacking him and Hera. And then Zeus threw a thunderbolt, and then Hercules was like, arrow.
Ah.
King hell, that would be a cool thing to watch, you know. Probably exists, but anyways, yeah, it's fun reading about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of concepts are based in spiritualism, also going back to it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of religions, even like the Mayans we talked about, like voodoo culture, like a lot of African
That is true.
sub-religions and stuff are based in spirituality.
Yeah. I mean, spirituality again.
Yeah.
It's like philosophy gave birth to religion. Religion gave birth to spirituality. Spirituality joined back with religion.
Because of its roots, I guess, and
Yeah.
its intentions.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, would you call yourself spiritual?
No, I would call myself philosophical.
No. I see.
I would
Fucking
say
nerd.
it's deeper than spirituality is the only reason. Because it's not just about the spirit for me. It's about being more human, more imperfect, and learning to fix those imperfections and do something with life. We only got one life, Sid. Well, between the two of us, we have two, but still.
Yeah.
What giants are from Norse,
Or
Hercules
maybe
is from
one
Roman, and Hera is from
based
Greek.
on how long we live.
Yeah, that's true. Put together, we have one. Yeah, that makes sense.
Put together, we have one average life.
Yeah. Also, random otaku that Hercules is there in Greek and Roman technically.
He's fucking with you, bro.
Yeah, and I just genuinely don't know right now. And giants are literally there in every freaking universe. Just in case you aren't fucking with me. But yeah,
like
that's what would you call yourself spiritual? Say.
No, I wouldn't.
Good. Anyway,
I wouldn't even call myself philosophical.
Yeah, but you are, so I don't have wisdom.
But I wouldn't use that to describe myself.
Yeah, I mean, if someone was like, okay, bro, stand up and talk a little bit about yourself, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, so I am the philosopher of the 21st century. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I am, bro. I write shit.
You do write shit, yes.
Fuck you, son of a bitch. Why did I fucking say that?
I repeated what you said.
Son of a bitch.
Look at him trying to. It's not Hercules, bro. It's Heracles. Get your shit together, bro.
Heracles.
Hey, have you seen the Disney movie?
But
yes. Anyways.
That's freaking it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
By the way, okay. This is a completely different topic, but I still don't know where the fuck Blender saves files. Yeah, it doesn't auto save anywhere. I'm looking everywhere and it's not. So I think the problem was
Blender on Steam, right?
No, I also got it on. I got it on Steam and then I uninstalled it and I installed it from the official website. And I think it only auto saves if you make a basic save of the file in the first place, which is freaking stupid. Because every other software I know auto saves despite you not having a base save file.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just so weird.
It does, yeah. Like, for example, I have Clip Studio Paint. And that motherfucker just keeps saving files and I'm like, yo, stop, I don't want it. It's like, no, I will keep saving files. I'm like, why don't I have any space left? Holy shit, like 20 GB of saved files.
Wow. Wow.
You know, I told you, dude, my C drive is getting full.
Yeah.
It was Clip Studio Paint making saves every few minutes, dude.
Oh my god. Also,
And it makes 2 saves.
Two saves? Why?
But yeah, it makes 2 different folders.
Oh.
One is like backup of every version you make, like every instance, and one is like every like certain of like 20 minutes or half an hour. Yeah, which is crazy. Very good if I need it, but I don't want it.
And this thing, Nandemo Theme says also the way Medusa died is dumb. The way most people die in Greek mythology is dumb as shit, okay?
Most way people do anything is dumb.
Freaking
over there.
Achilles, like, I guess I just won't dip his freaking foot. And why the fuck does everyone know about it? Okay, if that was the thing, I would have been like, yo, I dunked that kid. I just like dunked him into the sticks and I fished him out with a net afterwards.
Also,
He
I would
is
dip his whole
literally
body.
invincible. No, but
I would
even
have a crazy hand, like I would want my hand to be as strong as him, so I would dip.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's technically true. Like her hand should be invincible, but she's a goddess,
Yeah.
so. But no, imagine, like, okay, let's say you do dip the kid and then you walk out and you don't get the chance again. You're like, shit, you know what? I forgot to dip the kid's fucking leg, other leg, the one I was holding. Shit, I forgot. Then what? I wouldn't go around telling people that. I wouldn't be like, okay, so he's like impossible to kill except for that one little spot on his left ankle. Just don't hit him there. I'd be like, yo, I just threw him into the sticks. He's invincible. Try hitting him anywhere, and they'll be like, oh, I'll be like, fuck, he's actually invincible.
Dude, what I would do is be totally naked and only have armor over there on that
Yeah,
part.
that also works. Yeah.
They're like, why do you only have this? It's fashion, dude. Come
Yeah.
fight me.
I mean, that's stupid. Achilles was like literally the dumbest guy on the battlefield because he's like, I literally cannot get scratched, but I
a
will
lot
keep
of
my
these
leg
important
open.
People in stories are dumb. Like if you see Karan from Mahabharata, he like has this golden armor, but he never says no to someone in the morning at some time if he's having a bath or something. And Krishna's like, hey, can you give me your armor? He's like, morning. So yeah, take my armor. I like
And then he
since
freaking
you
dies.
asked, and I never say no to people. It's my thing.
Yeah, just my thing. That's what I do. Okay, I just don't say no.
Yeah, I just give people what they ask for
Yeah.
at this time. Mm.
I'm a I don't know, kindness slut, I guess.
But yeah, welcome,
Forrest
Sam
Dan.
Dan.
I was going to join
Yes.
earlier, but I decided not to. Both Random and I are going
Good
through
decision.
a phase. Yeah, both of you are going through a phase.
Mm.
But she worshipped Athena, but then when she went to a temple, others went to a temple because of Medusa, but not her. When she cursed. The reason that happened was because Medusa was doing the nasty with Zeus in Athena's temple, which is why she was cursed.
Mm.
Although, like, so Medusa has become like a very
Zeus was
popular character in
literally fucking
MOBAs, right?
everything, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But so,
Zeus was fucking like trees and water and whatnot, dude. Like, come on.
yeah.
Like, they fucking everything.
What is this stream about?
He's
We are
fucking
talking
a rock.
about. He fucked everything. That's true. We are talking about spirituality, what it means, and what we think of it. And you missed all of it. All of it, Dan. All of it. Oh, also, I don't know if you.
Yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Yeah, one second.
What? You have something to say?
I'm just saying this like. Wait, Sid. I'm gonna like just close this thing for a second and be like, move my monitor just a little bit and transition this and be like, guys, OBS new update looks fantastic, amazing, I love it. And that's it. I will put Sid back on. It looks so clean, it's so nice, it's so pleasing to look at. God damn, a little bit of a paint job on the UI really tickles my fancies, huh?
As Nandemo Theme says, bro, you are not knowledgeable about these myths.
I am not, yes. That is true. God, remember I was writing that freaking book about Kronos?
You are not knowledgeable.
I love it when apps get released. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like so many people are like, "Oh my god, they redesigned the app. Why do they redesign stuff? Why do they change stuff?" Like, dude, they
I
redesigned
like
the
it a
app.
lot
It's so
too.
freaking
Yeah,
cool.
It makes it so much better to use and so much more efficient. I hate everything looking like a fucking website from 1995, dude. Like, come on, fix that shit.
No, so the Reddit Sync app, the developer got death threats because he put out an entirely new interface and experience. He got death threats for a Reddit app, and he went offline. He quit talking to the community for a year.
Yeah, but that's understandable if you see that those kind of redditors who are just like scrolling all fucking day and doing nothing.
Dude, if you
and their
don't
whole
like
life
the
depends
app,
on-
just change the fucking app. Don't send death threats.
Yeah, that is true. But those Reddit incels.
Everyone's getting death threats these days. Hey, Sid, when do you think we
Yeah.
get our first death threat?
I don't know.
Hey, can one of you like threaten? Please. But yeah, okay, that's it. That's it for this episode. We will be back next week with another episode, and I have no idea what the episode will be about. But bye.
See ya, guys, next week.